Class 12th, Subject Physics, 5th chapter, Oscillations. From the chapter, let us see some of the points of distinction between the simple pendulum and conical pendulum. So, let us see the question that is distinguish between the simple pendulum and conical pendulum. So, if we consider conical pendulum and the simple pendulum, then let us see some of the points of distinction between them. The first point is, in case of conical pendulum, the trajectory and the plane of the motion of the bob is a horizontal circle. On the other hand, in case of simple pendulum, trajectory and the plane of the motion of the bob is a part of vertical circle. Second point, in case of conical pendulum, kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy are constant, while in case of simple pendulum, the kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy are interconverted and their sum is conserved. Third point, in case of conical pendulum, the horizontal component of the force due to tension provides the necessary centripetal force, while in case of simple pendulum, the tangential component of the weight will govern the force for energy conservation. Fourth point, in case of conical pendulum, the period of conical pendulum is given as t equal to 2 pi square root of L cos theta upon g, while in case of simple pendulum, period is given by the formula t equal to 2 pi square root of L by g. Again, fifth point, in case of conical pendulum, the string always makes a fixed angle with the horizontal and can never be horizontal, while in case of simple pendulum, for large amplitude, the string can be horizontal at some instances. So these are some of the points of distinction between simple pendulum and conical pendulum. Now let us see the next point, that is angular SHM. What is angular simple harmonic motion? So let us define it first. The motion of the body in which the restoring torque acting on the body is directly proportional to the angular displacement of the body and is oppositely directed to that of angular displacement from the mean position is called as angular SHM. The motion of the body in which the restoring torque acting on the body is directly proportional to the angular displacement of the body and is oppositely directed to that of angular displacement from the mean position is called as angular SHM. And therefore, in case of angular SHM, the torque acting, that is the restoring torque acting on the body, will be proportional to its angular displacement from the mean position, and it will be oppositely directed to that of displacement from the mean position, and that's why we have written torque is proportional to minus theta, or it can be also written as torque equal to minus c theta, where c is the constant of proportionality, which is nothing but the restoring torque per unit angular displacement, because c will be equal to minus torque upon theta. So this constant of proportionality c is nothing but the restoring torque per unit angular displacement. And now, similar to that of linear SHM, the angular SHM will also possess differential equation. So let us see what is the differential equation of angular SHM. Differential equation of angular SHM. Now, if capital I represents the moment of inertia of that body performing SHM, then the restoring torque acting on that body will be given as torque equal to I alpha. If I represent moment of inertia of that body performing angular SHM, then torque is equal to I alpha, where alpha will represent angular acceleration of that body. Let it be equation number 1. But just now, according to definition of angular SHM, we have seen that but torque is equal to minus c theta. So this torque is equal to minus c theta. Equation number 2. Comparing these two equations, we can write I alpha equal to minus c theta. But the angular acceleration alpha is given in terms of angular displacement as d square theta by dt square, and therefore we can write from this equation I into d square theta by dt square equal to minus c theta. Therefore, taking this minus term towards left, we can write I into d square theta by dt square plus c theta equal to 0 as equation number 3, and this third equation represents the differential equation of angular SHM, that is I into d square theta by dt square plus c theta equal to 0. Now, the angular acceleration of that body alpha is equal to d square theta by dt square. This will be written as minus c theta upon I. From this equation, d square theta by dt square equal to minus c theta upon this I. But from this relation, c is constant of proportionality, I is the moment of inertia, so both will be constant. That is, I is the moment of inertia of that body about a fixed axis of rotation, and therefore both c and I are constant, and therefore we can write d square theta by dt square or alpha will be proportional to minus theta, and therefore alpha is proportional to minus theta. From this relation, it is clear that the angular acceleration of that body is directly proportional to the angular displacement of the body from the mean position, and it is oppositely directed to that of displacement from the mean position, and therefore this equation represents that body is performing angular SHM, because acceleration is directly proportional to displacement and that displacement is oppositely directed to that of angular acceleration. Now, the period of this angular SHM t, if capital T represents period of SHM, then for that angular SHM t will be given as, according to formula for period, t is equal to 2 pi by omega. But we know that omega is equal to square root of acceleration per unit displacement, and therefore in this case 2 pi upon square root of angular acceleration per unit angular displacement will represent period t. 2 pi upon square root of angular acceleration per unit angular displacement. This can be written as t equal to 2 pi upon square root of alpha upon theta. So this alpha upon theta, so alpha upon this theta will be equal to c upon I in magnitude, and therefore we can write, because this term represents acceleration per unit displacement, that will be equal to 2 pi upon square root of c upon I, and this will be written as t equal to 2 pi square root of I by c. So this equation represents the period of angular SHM. Now, in this case, let us consider one of the examples of the angular SHM, and this example is the magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field. The magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field. When a bar magnet is freely suspended in uniform magnetic field, then it remains in its equilibrium position with its axis parallel to the direction of magnetic field. When a bar magnet is freely suspended in uniform magnetic field, then it will align or it will remain in its equilibrium position such that the axis of the magnet will be parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Now in this case, a bar magnet consisting of two poles S and N having its magnetic length is equal to 2L is suspended in uniform magnetic field of induction B. Now when such magnet is suspended in magnetic field and if it is displaced through some angle theta, at that time both these poles will be acted upon by the forces, that is QB and here minus QB. So this Q represents the pole strength of each pole, and therefore this QB will be the force acting on the N pole, which is always directed in the direction of magnetic field, while minus QB will represent the force acting on the S pole, which is always directed opposite to that of direction of magnetic field. So that one force is originated from N pole, second force is originated from S pole, and therefore this distance SP will represent the perpendicular distance between these two forces. So perpendicular distance between two forces, that is SP. Now as this angle is theta here, therefore this angle will become also theta, and therefore as this angle is theta, that is angle SNP will be equal to theta NSP, that angle will be 90 minus theta, and that at point P angle is 90. So remember, angle SNP equal to theta, angle NSP equal to 90 minus theta. Now SP side will be opposite side to this angle theta, and therefore SP side, that is the perpendicular distance between two forces, will be equal to hypotenuse into sine theta. Hypotenuse is 2L, and therefore 2L sine theta, that will be the perpendicular distance between these two forces. Now let mu represents the magnetic dipole moment of that bar magnet, which is nothing but the product of pole strength and magnetic length, that is Q into 2L. Now B will represent the uniform magnetic field in which that magnet is suspended at that time when angular displacement theta is there for this bar magnet. That means when this bar magnet is rotated through angle theta, at that time the restoring torque will be acting on that bar magnet so as to make axis of the magnet again parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Now that restoring force will be given as, that is restoring torque will be given as torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance between two forces. So force is QB and perpendicular distance between them is SP, that is equal to 2L sin theta, and therefore torque equal to minus QB 2L sin theta, that is equal to minus mu B sin theta, because Q into 2L is nothing but mu. So in this case, as theta is very small, sin theta will be taken as theta, and therefore restoring torque is equal to minus mu B theta as equation number 1. So minus mu B theta. Now if I represents the moment of inertia of that magnet, because that magnet is set into rotational motion, and therefore about the axis of rotation it will possess some moment of inertia I, and therefore the torque acting will be equal to I alpha. So this will be the externally applied torque, this will be the restoring torque, equation number 2. Comparing 1 and 2, we can write I alpha equal to minus mu B theta. Now the angular acceleration of that magnet alpha will be equal to, that alpha will be given as minus mu B theta upon I, and therefore it will be written as minus mu B upon I into theta. Again mu, that is magnetic dipole moment of the magnet, magnetic field B, and the moment of inertia I about a fixed axis of rotation, all these are constant, and therefore we can say that angular acceleration alpha will be proportional to minus theta, that is angular acceleration of that magnet is directly proportional to its angular displacement theta, and it is oppositely directed to that of angular displacement theta. And therefore this magnet, when it is displaced from its equilibrium position, it will vibrate about its mean position, and therefore it will perform angular SH jump. So this magnet, when it is displaced from its mean position through some angle, at that time it will perform angular SH jump. Now if T represents again period of vibration of that magnet, if T is the period of vibration of that magnet, then it will be given as T equal to 2 pi upon square root of angular acceleration per unit angular displacement. Angular acceleration per unit angular displacement, it will be given as T equal to 2 pi upon alpha upon theta. So from this relation again, as alpha is equal to this, so that from this alpha upon theta will be equal to mu b upon I in magnitude, and therefore as 2 pi upon square root of alpha upon theta will be written as 2 pi upon square root of mu b upon I, and therefore we can write T is equal to 2 pi square root of I upon mu b. This equation represents the expression for the period of that vibrating magnet in magnetic field B.